Hey guys, how you doing today? I want to talk about an old friend from high school named Alan Doss. I was a senior, and I think he was a sophomore, and he was in a band, a local band called the Extremes, and he was the youngest guy. And I tell you what, he absolutely tore it up. Um, my friend Bobby from high school as well, he was in my class, and him and his brother bought uh, this place and on Glintstone and Kearney, and they called it Punkers. And it was really cool because it was like a under 21, you know, and it was cool because my friend Bobby was, pouring drinks, soda pop, Dr. Pepper, whatever it was. And and then, on stage, there's the Extremes absolutely playing a brand new song that came out on the radio, and they're playing it that weekend. And the old favorites. And I just couldn't believe it. I was like, these guys are great. The youngest guy, Alan, was 14. The oldest guy was 17. And these guys were playing anything on the planet. I couldn't believe it. Any album, they could play it. And Bobby was a great singer. Now, I'm not going to use any last names, but Bobby was a great singer, and I thought they, were going to go far. And I kept telling Dan, from the band Extremes, I go, man, you guys need to hook up with the Edge and go to New York, and I'll be your bouncer. It's just like, you guys need to go up there. And, but, fate had a way of kind of sliding in there, and they made it anyway. Not the actual band's band, but hey. So, like I said, it was really cool. Every Friday, Saturday night, you go down to Puckers, you see the Extremes. And that was the plan. And my friend Kevin, I think he was running lights for him. And then he started running lights for the Edge, but that's another story. But anyway, and then me, Kevin, and Alan were cruising up Kearney. In the middle of the day, I don't know what we were getting, but anyway, and Alan goes, and I got a great name for a band, and he'll, we're all like, what? I mean, the Extremes is great. He goes, well, how about Galactic Cowboys? And as God is my witness, I swear to God, I'm like, holy cow, that is a killer name, because one of my favorite shows is Battlestar Galactica. All the special effects, not the dialogue as much, but, all the effects I thought were great. And at that point in time, I was kind of wanting to go into special effects, and, but Springfield, Missouri in 1982, there is no such thing, so, anyway, that's another story. But anyway, so, the Extremes had this song called The Extremes, and it had a melody, kind of like Swimming in December by the Galactic Cowboys. And Jerry from King's X actually did the drum tracks on that. And I was like, holy cow, because, back then they all, knew me, and they knew that I walked everywhere. Walk to swim practice, walk home from swim practice. I swim like 4 miles and then walk home about, 3 miles. And I did that every day for 4 years, but that's a different story, guys. But anyway, that song was really, really great. And, I made a couple of videos because it was just a really great song, and it hit me. But anyway, guys, and years later, the Edge turned into Sneak Preview, and then Sneak Preview turned into King's X. So there you go. And the band Extremes minus everybody but Alan, he formed a band, Galactic Cowboys, and they hit it big. And they had some really good albums, and I just could not believe the drum tracks that he was laying down. It was just unbelievable. And guys, if you've not heard these guys, you've got to check them out. Galactic Cowboys, any album, and CD. And I think years later, decades later, band Kiss put out Kiss My Ass. And I thought, oh boy, here we go. And they had this thing at the back say, I'm missing in action. And they had all these other bands. And I'm like, why didn't you do a 2 CD package instead of 1 CD? But Kiss decided not to do that. They lost out. And so Alan put a CD out, and this was a great idea, I thought anyway. 2 studio tracks, 2 live tracks, and then 2 covers. And one of them was Kiss, I Want You, and that was supposed to be on Kiss My Ass, but it got cut out, which is big mistake, Kiss. Way big. But anyway, so he put that out, and Alan produced it, and I thought it was a great idea, but it just, no one else did it, but I thought it was a great idea. And so that sucked that Galactic Cowboys wasn't on that, but that's just the way it goes in rock and roll sometimes, But the other thing is when Alan came to town with King's X and Galactic Cowboys over a decade ago, I tell you what, it was really cool. I got to hang out with Alan for just a second or two and, say, man, this is great. And he was running around doing all kinds of stuff because he was like the roadie. He was doing everything. I go, dude, you need help? I'm here, But he goes, no, I got, but he goes, man, enjoy the show, and I was just like, shoot. But anyway, so that night, I got a shirt, the Galactic Cowboys, and that was cool. And I got to see Alan, and that was really cool. But I just wanted to make this video and say, man, thanks, Alan. Thank you for the rock and roll you put out. I could not believe it from a low bar band that this guy made it. And it was really cool. And there's some other stories of the guys in the band, the Treems, and I will get into more detail with those in other videos. But for right now, Alan, thanks a lot. It was great. Thank you for the rock and roll. Alan was with me at my old apartment, 1982, on June 9th. I thought that was pretty cool. Rock and roll. Guys, have a good day and have a better one tomorrow.